Hello everybody, welcome to English with Mrs. Craven on Friday the 5th of February 2021. Let's see what we're learning today. So today we are learning to edit and improve your story, the story that you wrote yesterday. To be successful, we need to be able to read through your work to check it and check it makes sense. To be able to improve your writing and to see if you can recognise where punctuation should go in your sentences. So today is all about checking and trying to improve the story that you wrote yesterday, and we call this editing. So, number one, we must check that your writing has capital letters in the right places. 2, we're going to see, have you included full stops in the right places? 3, have you used finger spaces, left a little gap in between each word? 4, if you haven't, can you add a conjunction to your sentence to make it longer and more interesting? Remember, a conjunction is a joining word to extend your sentences, and there are some on my slide here, like because, and, but, when, then, and so. And number 5, can you choose and include some better adjectives than the ones you chose? Or if you didn't include any, maybe I'd like you to add some, please. So today is all about improving the writing that we did yesterday. So take a minute now to look at number 1 on our checklist. Check your writing has capital letters in the right places. Now, I know you know where capital letters should be, boys and girls. Take a minute to think. They should be at 2 places. Think. That's right. They should be at the beginning of a sentence, or if you wrote a name in your story, they should be at the start of a person's name. So if you want to pause the video here, first thing to do, check that your writing has capital letters in the right places. And if you spot a place where it doesn't, or if you've missed one out, put a circle round it, draw a circle round it so you can show that you've noticed it with a pencil, because what we're going to do later on for our activity is rewrite our story, and then when you come to rewrite your story, you'll see that circle and go, oh, I remember, I need to change that needs to be a capital. So pause, check for capitals now, off you go. Right, so you've checked for your capital letters. You've circled them if you realised that you have maybe forgotten them, or maybe you looked and thought, oh, I put them in when I shouldn't have. Maybe I put them in the middle of the sentence when they shouldn't have been, and you noticed that too. That's good checking. Number 2 on our list. Did you include full stops in the right places? We've got to check that now, boys and girls. Have a little chat. Where should full stops be? I'll give you a minute to think. That's right. Full stops should be at the end of sentences. I'm glad you remembered. Now, what you need to do is, with your pencil, or you can use a different coloured pencil crayon if that helps, is go through your writing, maybe with your grown-up, and check, did I remember my full stops? Did I put them in the right place? If you forgot them, put them in with maybe your coloured pencil crayons. So this time you can see that when you write out your writing in a minute, again, that you know, oops, I forgot it, but my little coloured full stop tells me that when I do it again in a minute, I need to put one in. Go through and check. Also check, maybe you sneaked one in where you shouldn't have. Maybe you put one in when your sentence hadn't actually finished. And maybe then with your pencil crayon, you need to put one line through it and cross it out. Say, oh, I shouldn't have put it in. I actually didn't finish my sentence there. Start looking. I'll come back to you in a minute. You can pause me. Good, I hope you did some good checking. Next on the list, did you use finger spaces? You'll know straight away if you forgot, because all your words will be squashed together. Or maybe you did use them in some places and forgot in others. So next time, if you didn't, you're going to have to get your finger out, move it in between each word. Or if it helps, maybe you could cut a thin strip of paper and use it as a marker and move it in between each word so you remember it when we write out again. Now, adding your conjunction. This is one of the words on my list above. So if you found that you've written maybe lots of little short sentences, maybe you could have a chat with your grown-up about how you could use one of my conjunctions, one of my joining words, to put your two sentences together and make it longer. So I'm thinking of the astronaut I wrote about yesterday. So I might have noticed that I wrote two short sentences about him. Perhaps I wrote, he landed on the moon, his plane broke. But I could improve that by using a conjunction. He landed, I can't remember what I said now. Well, let's just say he landed on the moon and his plane broke. Or he landed on the moon, because his plane broke. So I'm using the conjunctions to make my sentence longer. And maybe you could write out one of a new sentence again at the bottom that you're going to remember to put in to your new version when we write it next time to remind you. Check your work, see if you've used some adjectives, or notice a place where you could use one and you didn't. And I've got some adjectives on my screen here. You don't have to use those, they're just to remind you what they are, that they're describing words. So is there a place in your writing where you could put one in to describe maybe the place you've written about, or the character, or what's happening? And maybe you could write the adjective you want to use underneath the story you wrote yesterday, just to remind you that when we rewrite it in a minute, that one is going to get put into your story, and your grown-up can help you remember where it's going to go. So now that we've reviewed our work and thought about some of the changes that we are going to make to improve our story, we are going to write it out again with all these lovely new improvements and in our best handwriting. So we want to check that we are writing on the line in our books. And when we've done our writing, we've rewritten it, you can add a picture or some artwork at the bottom to match your story. And I've included the phonics mat here again. Also, it helps to remind you children how to form your letters if you need that as well. Now, for some support, rewriting out a whole story is quite a challenge. So you could just ask your child to rewrite the first sentence of their story if rewriting the whole story is too much of a challenge. and they could add maybe one adjective to make it more interesting. And as I said, the sound mat is there maybe to help you sound out that new adjective with your child. So rewrite what you can, but make it manageable for you and your child. If the whole story is too much, then just break it into fragments that are manageable for you. For some children, that will be a sentence. For some children, rewriting the beginning will be enough. For others, it could be the beginning and the middle. For others, it will be the whole story, but you choose what suits you and your child. So to fly high, check that your new and improved story makes sense. So check that you've used those capital letters, finger spaces and full stops in the correct places. And did you manage to include a conjunction to extend maybe one of your sentences and add some new interesting adjectives? I bet you've all managed to do some of those things because you're all super clever. So well done, children. Now let's reflect. We were learning to edit and improve our stories, and to be successful, we needed to be able to read through our work and check it makes sense. And we followed our steps at the beginning, so I'm sure, all managed to find something to improve. And again, it says here, we could improve our writing. If you managed to just find one extra capital letter you needed to change or a full stop, then you were successful. And to recognise where punctuation should go. I think everyone will have found something, so that means that you were being successful today. So well done, very proud of all of you children. Well done for trying your very best. Now, if you'd like to share your fantastic stories and work with us, you can by emailing us at parentssupport@shepherdswell.emat.uk. And just remember, even grown-ups make mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you're just trying your best, and you don't have to be perfect to be amazing. You already are amazing. So bye-bye, take care, see you soon.